This is Teed Up Podcast back again on YouTube and on Apple Podcasts, Spotify.
Yeah, we still got our audio
have
versions
audios,
going,
yeah.
but we working on our video now. Got a special guest for the day, Mr. Hunter.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Hey, we met you. What was it? The first Arizona State football game?
Yeah, that's a funny story, actually.
That
bro.
first week, it was last week of August. That
Yeah,
first
it was
game.
the home opener.
Yeah,
For
and it was
ASU.
talk about like that moment when we were filming. That's when we were filming on.
That was our
iPhone.
first
Yeah.
ever
That was our first video.
social media video that we tried.
Yeah, so for me, I do YouTube as well, so I wanted to document that game and I have a wireless mic I just got, so I wanted to use it for that game, and so I was filming the whole game, and then I saw you guys filming, so I go up to you and
Hey, we'll insert the clip too. We'll insert the
we'll
clip.
actually, I asked the question, and then
We just
Yeah.
networking. That's how it started.
That's all it is. It's just
Exactly.
networking, just getting to know you, and then we just kind of doing a deep dive just of research. Just found out how you started your content creation, how you grew your following. Talk about that. Where did you start? When did you start making videos? Why? And then how did your following grow?
Yeah, exactly. So my friend, actually, we're in a hotel lobby on a road trip for a hockey game, and this is 2019 when TikTok was barely a thing, but it was growing.
It was starting to
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
just starting to get traction.
Because it was moving from, it started off them corny dance videos and stuff where they did the trend.
Cool at first.
But then it started to transition where people started using it like Vine and Instagram, where they had their own platforms and stuff. So.
Yeah, so my friend, he was filming us in our suits. Hockey players wear suits to games. And
Yeah.
He filmed 4 or 5 of us just over a music, just
Instrumental.
trending audio.
Yeah.
And I didn't have TikTok at the time, and after the game, there's 30,000 views on that video, which at the time for us is nuts.
Nah, that's still crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
If you can get over 10K views on a video,
Oh yeah.
it feels like you pop.
Yeah, so that feeling of all the attraction and
Attention.
all the attention, exactly, and the comments, we just kept doing that, filming us in our suits before games, and obviously the girls love that.
Yeah.
So I started getting a lot of followers myself just from him tagging me. So then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start that myself. So we didn't know a ton about social media, obviously, because it's so new. And yeah, we just kept filming throughout the season. Eventually that came to an end, and I went back home after the season, and I just started doing stuff myself, just whatever was trending,
All the different types of video trends.
yeah.
So would you consider yourself more of a day-to-day life vlogger? Is it more of you using these social media sounds to get your views up, or what? Or is it more on the street content where you're filming people, or is it a whole mix of it? Talk
I
about that.
experiment with everything. I just try and figure out what works for me and what doesn't. And I've kind of moved away from the TikTok
The little
dances and all
trends
that
and
crap.
stuff. Mhm.
Right now, I've just been doing reels a lot. I film a couple 3-second clips.
No, I was looking at it. You were doing day in the life.
Yeah, I do a lot of that. So throughout the day, I just film clips 3 seconds
Mhm.
of whatever I'm doing, and I pick the most attraction, what's gonna get the most views throughout the day, and I just match it with a trending audio on Instagram, and I post that. And one of them right now, it's sitting at 750,000 views.
Damn.
That was this year, and so I just kept doing that. I do that. I try and get one up once a week, and when I came here, I had 11,000 followers on Instagram, and I'm up to 18,000 now. So
Damn, 18?
yeah, I've grown a lot since I've been here.
So talk about that. You've grown this pretty big social media following now, 18K, moving up to 20K.
Yeah.
What's your goal within using that? What do you want to use your social media following for? Is it just to keep, showing the everyday lifestyle of what a ASU hockey player is like? Or is it, do you want to potentially get out of the realm of sports and start to do your own thing? Or
Yeah.
talk about that.
I kind of want to stick in the sports world, but eventually I am going to stop playing hockey, and I want a base to sit on with my following. So if I want to start a business or whatever,
You already got something there.
yeah, maybe work with NHL teams and stuff, promoting teams or whatever.
Yeah, content creation with them.
Yeah. stuff like that for sure.
You got something to say?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I want to talk about like hockey, because I'm not. I'll just be honest. Like I didn't know a lot about hockey like growing up, because I grew up in Southern California. But
Now I'm not gonna lie. In the black community, hockey's
Yeah,
not
it's-
crazy big. It's starting to grow now. It's starting to
Yeah.
grow, but like the first thing that we're pointing to is basketball, football, baseball, track, those types of sports. And me, I'm not even gonna lie. I don't even know how to ice skate yet.
Yeah.
So just talk about like where you're from and the upbringing and how that kind of.
Yeah, so I'm from Canada.
Where in Canada?
Winnipeg, it's called. It's right in the center. It's above Minnesota.
it's cold.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm already
We,
here.
we got snow right now. We had snow before Halloween actually.
Dang.
So
Hell
Like
no.
how many months out the year do you think it snows?
well, it snows from like usually November to
Like March
the
or so?
spring.
Yeah. No, I couldn't do it.
I can kind of relate to. I'm from Colorado, so
Yeah. Oh yeah.
it's the same kind of weather. But yeah, talk about your
So yeah,
upbringing.
so obviously hockey's very popular in Canada. Everyone pretty much plays it, and so yeah, I moved away when I was 15 years old to on the East Coast, British Columbia. If you guys know where that is, it's above Seattle,
Mhm.
or the West Coast, I mean. And then, so I was 15 at the time. I moved to a hockey academy, which we only do 2 hours of schooling per day, and then the rest is just training.
Really?
Yeah, so I did that for a full year, and I loved it.
Talk about the day to day within that. Like,
Yeah.
what's it? You said 2 hours. I mean,
Yeah.
2 hours
for
of
me,
schooling, yeah.
high
School
school
is
is
like
6
7.
hours, 7 hours. Just
Yeah,
there.
that's typical
And
high school.
was it like you guys would have a strict schedule, like you wake up and you lift and then you do school and then you have practice? Like what was that schedule like going?
Yeah,
day to day?
exactly what you said. So each week it actually changed from either we're on ice before school or in the gym, then it's vice versa each week. So we'd either be on the ice or in the weight room before school. Then we do our 2 hour block period, and then right after school we go to either the rink or the gym depending on the week. And then that's the day. So
What was like the competition like? I know like for sports like basketball, they have prep schools where all the best players go to like academies such as like similar to that, and it's high level, even practice, like everything's a
Oh, yeah.
competition. What's that like where you're playing with obviously some of the best players in
yeah,
Canada?
so this is an academy, like you said. So we had kids from all over Canada, and even 2 kids from Japan that came.
Man, Japan get down like
Yeah,
that.
they're actually pretty good. Like
Really?
little Japanese kids that can skate.
They're fast.
Yeah, so it's very competitive. Kids from all over the world are joining these academy teams, and so yeah, it's very competitive.
Talk about like, for me, like or even for like basketball, there's certain like muscle groups that you'll train. Like, what's the difference in hockey? Because I know like, from my experience watching it, like most hockey players are on the ice for what 2-3 minutes, and then it's a switch like that.
Less.
Less?
A minute.
Talk about like the endurance part of it, like, because I feel like you have to have a lot more endurance, especially with all that heavy gear on and stuff, and you're
Yeah.
taking these brutal hits. Like, what's the type of training that you guys do that's kind of different from like a runner or swimmer? You know
Yeah,
what I'm
hockey
saying?
is like a lot of strength and stabilization as well as speed. So the typical gym day, you want to focus on strength, so like squats, and then maybe box jumps to get that, like different parts of your muscles working, and then we do a lot of core as well. So every workout, you're usually ending with core.
And then talk about it like, because talk about your transition from club to now you're at ASU, like.
Because it's still because it's still under the club wing, but how is it different at ASU? Because it's on a bigger level, right? Like, how
Yeah,
is that?
well, it's pretty similar to what I was doing before, like traveling.
Right.
But now it's just in a school. So we still travel to like Colorado, and we were just in Chicago 2 weeks ago for a showcase, basically teams from all over the country meet up into one location.
So talk about like, did you have what's the difference between like D1 hockey versus the club hockey? Is it like, and talk about the competition level too. Is it more competitive? Is it the same type of competition? Like,
It's equally competitive. They're just better at what they do, obviously, because they're Division 1 and I'm ACHA Division 1. So that's what ASU is. It's NCAA D1, then there's ACHA D1. And it's just, the biggest difference is just they have the potential to make it to the NHL. And
Is there any? Did you like have any college offers coming out of?
yeah, I'll talk about like how I came here. So
Yeah.
all my life I wanted to play NCAA either D1 or 3, which
Mhm.
is
Is there no D2?
there's no. Well, I think there is a D2, but I think D3 is actually
It's
better.
yeah.
So D2 is worse than wow. Okay.
I don't know anything about D2 hockey, but
Because it's something, I think it's something where like the schools, like certain schools that are bad in like higher level sports, and they're like D2 or D3. In some programs, like they're good. Like I know there's a school somewhere like in Washington where they're D3, but their like lacrosse team plays against all D1 schools the whole year, and it's like
Oh yeah.
like
so-
it's weird.
Yeah.
yeah. So my older brother, I'm kind of like following his footsteps in terms of my career and
Mhm.
where I ended up.
Mhm.
But he went to a Division 3 school, and that was kind of my plan the whole time. And this winter, like it's called junior hockey, so we take a couple years off of high school and college to just play junior hockey. Like we're not
Mhm.
doing any schooling. Some people get jobs, but for me, it was just hockey, and I wanted to play D3 hockey, like NCAA. So I was emailing coaches like all throughout the season, and they were emailing me. And then I kind of just had one night where I'm like usually D3 schools are tiny schools.
Yeah.
No one really knows about them.
Yeah, it's like you really got to be dedicated to
Yeah.
the sport of
Yeah, to
hockey,
your
and it's
craft.
just straight hockey.
And
I'm
like
pretty
my
sure.
brother was saying, like you get bored after a couple years. Like it's the
Yeah.
same people in this little town.
It's
Well,
not the
especially
full-
for you, like you're a content creator, like
Yeah,
social
exactly.
media is
So-
a big thing.
So I used to play with a kid in BC, like when I was 15,
Mhm.
and he goes here. So I reached out to him. I'm like, because he goes here, and he's like, yeah, I love it, and like I recommend it. So I emailed the coach, and he accepted me into like the tryouts, because you got to
Mhm.
go through a tryout, and I obviously made the team. So I'm like, yeah, like Arizona State's obviously an amazing school, and
Hey, talk about it. So, what you were explaining to us earlier is that you're 21,
yeah,
but you're a freshman now, and that's
Yeah.
because of those
Because of the
those 3. Was it 2-3 years? Was it?
you can do 4 years starting at 16, and you age out at 20. But I graduated high school at 18, and then I played 3 years of junior hockey. So
Talk about the difference, because man, you just told me that you were getting snow for 6-7 months, and now you're in sunshine.
Yeah,
so yeah, that's one of the reasons I chose this school over anywhere else, because just the weather and the lifestyle. Like Phoenix is a massive city full of potential. That's why I wanted to come here over a little town.
Hey man, don't
Because
lie.
yeah, like my
ASU.
social media, like just
Yeah.
this opportunity right here. You know?
yeah, like stuff.
It's
Just
good-
collaborations.
ability to
Well,
grow.
Also, too, I wanted to ask you real quick while we're still on the topic of hockey. I know the Coyotes, they play right in the
Oh, yeah.
same
Same
arena
arena,
as
yeah.
you guys. What is that like being in the space where it's NHL connections in the same arena on the same rink? Like I assume like sometimes you guys are leaving out and they're coming in. Like what is that like too? Also seeing them.
I
in
actually
the
don't
space?
see them much.
Really?
Yeah.
What-
So
what is it like just being around that?
Just
around
knowing that
space?
there's
Yeah.
someone, you know.
yeah, like I go to their games actually quite a bit.
Oh, for real?
So it's cool to have that 2 minutes from the house that I live in, and yeah, it's just great to see. I think they're actually getting a new arena next year.
That's why they're probably just in that.
Yeah,
Because I know.
this isn't permanent.
No, I would hope not. That'd be kind of crazy. What's your position too? We didn't even
I
get
am
to
a
that.
forward, so
So you're a goal scorer.
yeah, I try to be.
Okay. So what's like the difference in positions? And then I always had this question. Can you please like explain like the offside rule or
Yeah,
bro? Because
yeah.
I'd be watching hockey and then like they'll be like, if he's not like if the defender's not in like or like you have to take it back to your part before you can attack or something like
so
that.
like a normal offside would be like there's 2 blue lines.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't have the puck and you cross the line before the guy with the puck, that's offside.
Mm.
And then there's this, what's called a delayed offside, where it's like, say if you put the puck in and like the other team has it, you got to go like out and back in like your whole team has to go outside the blue line.
Yeah.
And then go back in.
Yeah. I mean, we can't talk about hockey with that. Have you ever been in a fight, bro? Like,
Yeah, that's what I was about to
I've
say.
been
The next
in
thing I was about to say.
one like real fight where my gloves are off.
for real? Bro,
Like,
what's
you
that
just
feeling?
Yeah, how does that happen? Like,
So,
is it
yeah.
talking during the game, like you're going back
This
and
was
forth?
actually like just right out like random. It's kind of a rivalry team though, so I guess it wasn't that random. So I was going in zone with the puck, and this guy like just cranks me, and I wasn't actually that pissed myself, but my teammate saw that.
They started,
and he jumped in,
Mhm.
and they started going at it, and I got up. I'm like, this is my fight.
Yeah,
That's
So
what
I grabbed the guy and we dropped the gloves and started fighting.
Is there a lot of fights off, like in every, because it seems like almost every hockey game that I tune into, there's some sort of like fight. And I
Yeah.
saw on ESPN literally the other day, like everyone on the rink was fighting at one point.
Yeah.
Does that happen often? Like
It
why?
doesn't happen often. Like usually there is some sort of fight during the game, but it might not be gloves off.
Yeah,
Like yeah, in our league we can't drop the gloves, or I think you get suspended.
if you do.
Yeah, so but
And-
usually there is some sort of disagreement.
So what's the difference? So like if you don't drop the gloves and you do get into the fight, do players still get to stay in the game?
Yeah, you just get a penalty.
Okay.
Man, do y'all have like? Cause I know a lot of hockey, like professional hockey team, they'll have a dude that's like the enforcer. Like,
Exactly.
who's like? Do you guys have a dude like that that's on your team? That's like, man, if someone's on BS on the other team, like we'll just put him in. He'll give him a quick crack, bro.
I don't think my team has one of those.
Hey, man, y'all should.
But yeah,
Right here.
right.
Once I learn to skate,
Yeah,
right.
man, I'll drop the gloves for the team. No cap.
but usually there is guys like that on every team. Like not purposely. Well, maybe at the top leagues, but
Yeah.
at my age, you kind of just end up where you end up.
Yeah, like they're skilled and they're good, but
Yeah.
if you need them.
But
to do
typically
that,
there
yeah.
is usually that bigger guy who's
Right.
a meaner guy than usual.
Talk about like mixing hockey and mixing content creation. Like, what do you do? I know you've done like a lot of road trip vlogs. And,
Yeah.
videotaping, like the behind the scenes aspect. How has that been, where you can mix your like two main worlds into one?
Yeah, I'll explain like from the start on how I got into that, especially with YouTube. So I noticed from like TikTok, hockey gets a lot of views for me, and my original YouTube videos were just like lifestyle. I didn't even like touch on hockey really, and I got like no views. So last year is when I first started like getting followers on YouTube, subscribers, and I just posted like a day in the life. Like I filmed my day on a game day, and it blew up. Like
Is it with like your phone or is it with the actual
I have
camera?
a camera, yeah.
What type of camera?
A Sony A6400.
Okay. I feel like that's what a lot of people do use to vlog.
Yeah, because it's not crazy expensive, but it's not cheap. Like it's a good.
But it's still good
camera.
quality.
Yeah.
Everything still looks clear.
Yeah,
everything
exactly.
Sounds good too. Huh?
So I posted that video, and I'm like, damn, this. I think it's under 100K, but I had 200 subscribers at the time, so not a lot.
Mhm.
So to get that many views is nuts, and
I'm only imagining.
yeah, like usually, just like my normal vlogs were getting a couple hundred views, and then my first hockey video, it just shot up. Yeah.
And then since then, you just followed the trend.
Yeah, you know why? Is because like no one's really doing what I was doing.
That's what I'm saying. It's
Posting,
unique.
yeah, like there's not really many hockey creators out there, so
Mhm.
to have someone like me going over the day in the lives, it's a lot of younger kids like to see that.
Talk about like the brand opportunities that you've gotten too. I'm pretty sure you've probably met a lot of people that are now in the hockey content creation space. How has your channel been able to help you build those connections? Talk about that.
Yeah, so my older brother actually does this on a lot bigger level. They're called the Hockey Guys, and they started the same way I kind of did, like a group of college students filming their like time through a college and hockey. So they're at like 1.5 million followers on TikTok, and
Yeah,
Shout out to them.
shout out.
Shout out
so
to
they're
them.
pretty big, and since I have that personal connection, I can learn a lot from them.
Yeah.
Especially because they're out of college now. So I ask them all the time, like, if you were in college, like, what would you create? Because I'm always looking for more video ideas.
There's always, you gotta stay
Yeah.
on it to grow.
Especially
So-
just being consistent of putting stuff out like all
Yeah.
the time.
And in the hockey world, like, you kind of get, not bullied, but, chirped, it's called. Like,
I know.
When
they be
I'm
chirping.
on
I watch
the-
it. Hey,
Yeah,
I watch some Nelk. I watch
Yeah,
some,
that's
you
what
know,
I was
I'm
gonna
into
say,
the
Nelk,
little.
the Canadian
Kyle, yeah,
slang,
he's always
yeah.
talking about being chirped, but like when I'm on the ice, people see my videos. I hear it all the time.
Oh, what do they say? Like, give me some.
What is some good
examples.
hockey trash talk? Like, what's
Well, what they say to me is just go make another TikTok or all that stuff. Like, it doesn't bother me really.
hey, man? If you don't got haters, you're not popping.
Exactly.
Exactly,
Like,
yeah.
I
That
must be
means
doing
they're
something.
tuned in,
I
yeah.
must be doing something right if they're seeing my videos.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, so going back to your original question of the
Mhm.
brand deals and stuff. So I just signed with an agent, like, so he can manage that stuff for me, and
Mhm.
it's been working out really well. Like, I can actually make money now
Mhm.
because in Canada we don't have the creator funds,
Really?
so we can't make
Really?
money off views.
Oh.
So the only way I'm able to make money is through brand partnerships. So he's been taking care of that for me, and it's been doing well.
So do you have dual citizenship now?
No,
or
I'm
is
just
it
here on a student visa.
Oh, really? But so talk about that. Like, can you like with the student visa? Like, are there certain like restrictions? Like, if you like end up going to jail, do you automatically have to go back to
Oh,
Canada?
It's actually kind of strict.
Oh,
Like,
man.
if you do anything really bad, you're.
Even if it's like a misdemeanor, they don't care, or is it like?
Probably.
I don't know too much about it, but
Yeah, it's probably certain. Like once you get to a class something,
Class
misdemeanor or
something,
misdemeanor.
Like once it hits a certain level of like real crime, then yeah, you
yeah,
gotta go.
being under a student visa is like pretty strict.
Really, what was that process like? Was it like an application that you went through, or did it just automatically happen since you? were
Yeah,
playing?
so once you get accepted into the school, they kind of help you out with that. It's just a couple like documents and
Yeah.
stuff at the border I had to sign.
And then what's your major? Also, we didn't even ask you. That.
I do sports business, so it kind of lines up to what I do. Yeah.
It's already right up your alley. Yeah, same thing with us. Like sports journalism was perfect for us, and
Yeah.
sports business. That's what you like. Speaking of business, like what would you want to do on the business side? Like, would it be more management, like managing teams, managing players,
Or would you want to be like more on the social media
Yeah,
side of it?
that's what I was gonna say. Like, I don't know if I want to use my degree. I might just try and ride social media out and
Well,
see what I can do.
a lot of it is just about connections too. That's what I
Yeah.
like, especially like just getting where you got to get, especially in the media industry. Like, a degree's only going to take you so far.
Yeah.
That's what I've learned. Like, in my 3 years here, like, yeah, it's nice to have that piece of paper, but at the end of the day, what can you do with that piece of paper? Is
Yeah.
what matters.
And like my goal, kind of all my life, is to not work for anyone. I want to like have my own freedom, and that's just kind of the way I think. Like I want to do my own thing, and you know,
Yeah, I mess with that. Hey, so talk about it because you at ASU now, playing hockey.
yeah.
I know there are like certain girls that be having that little hockey guy, like
Yeah.
And
that type.
We
like
go
I,
to the games and
like I said
everything.
earlier, like my reels I post here,
I'm already knowing you're getting hella
That's
attention.
where
Talk
some of
about
the followers
that.
came from.
a lot of them are ASU people, and
So what's your, is it?
Do you get recognized sometimes, like walking around? Do
I
people
do
ever say-
actually.
Like, what do they
like
say?
when I go to the bars or
I'm
whatever.
already knowing at the
There's
bars.
a couple people that come up to me, and even last night at the NHL game, I had someone.
Oh yeah.
I've seen you on TikTok.
Hey
Yeah,
man,
that's
that's
cool,
cool.
yeah.
I mean, man, if it was me and I had that Insta, oh yeah, come here, bro. Let me get the Insta real quick. As soon as she sees that 18K, you already know you're in, bro. You
Yeah.
already know you're in. Talk about that. Has your social media influence, has it helped you out with the ladies? Come on, talk.
Well, yeah, like with the followers, it's obviously helps.
Yeah.
Like they see you and say they're attracted.
Maybe some cloud demons.
Hit the DMs and maybe hang out.
Hey man, that's what's up though.
yeah, like some little random little messages and stuff from you.
What's your type? What's your type?
I don't know if I have a type, but
Man, all flavors. Hey, no, I could really relate to that. I could really relate to that.
no,
You
yeah.
got
be
you
secluded.
can't.
You can't focus on
Beauty
just
is
one.
beauty at the
Right.
end of the day.
yeah,
Whether,
I don't really have a type, honestly.
Nah, that's what I'm talking about though. But
Brunettes or blondes doesn't really matter.
come on now. As long as they fine. But talk about it. What's been your favorite part at ASU? What have you enjoyed the most? Has it been, the classes? Has it been meeting new people? Has it been, the weather? Like, what's
Definitely not school, but probably just being in Arizona is my
Yeah.
favorite part.
Have you been down to Scottsdale?
Yeah, I go there kind of often.
Man, that's a different world right there.
Yeah.
You go to Old Town, all those
Yeah.
spots. Yeah. What's your favorite part about Arizona? Like, where's somewhere that you go to all the time? That's like a staple of just your living here now since you've been out here.
Uh, Probably like Old Town. I go there more than I go out in Tempe.
Really?
Yeah.
See, the thing about Old Town is, man, because we went there for Super Bowl weekend last year.
Oh yeah.
When I tell you that was the most poppin', like,
Yeah, because wasn't there UFC and the waste management all the
yeah,
same?
and
Yeah,
waste
it was
management,
all
all
the
that.
same
But we went
time.
there on the day of the Super Bowl. So we went to,
Where did we go to it first?
I think it's called Maya.
Oh,
You know where Maya is?
That's
It's
probably
like
my
the
favorite
outdoor,
spot.
yeah.
Edge.
out there.
When I tell you, like, I'm pretty sure we've talked about this on the podcast before. That's the most amount of like IG model baddies that I was
Yeah,
I was
couldn't
shook.
imagine. I
I
couldn't
was
imagine.
shook.
I had never seen, like, everywhere you turned, like everywhere you looked, it was someone for sure, like, with some type of like clout on IG.
Yeah,
or,
I
like,
couldn't.
No, we,
imagine.
T Higgins.
T Higgins, yeah, we saw
yeah.
T Higgins in like a little booth right there,
Yeah, the
man.
Elk boys were in town.
Everyone
Yeah,
was
everyone
in
was
town.
in
It was popping, and I'm telling you. But the thing about Scottsdale though is, you better have some money when you go there.
Yeah.
Like you better, cause bro, I was shook. I went and I was like, can I order a vodka Red Bull real quick? Next thing I know, I see $35. I'm like, oh my gosh. And the worst part was, bro, I had a parlay that was gonna. I'm mad till this day about this, bro. I had a Super Bowl parlay. I was gonna hit it too. I was on my way, bro. Everything was good. I had Jerick McKinnon for under like, I don't know, 50 something yards. And at the last play, they hand the ball off and he runs it and bro, and I lose my parlay by 1 yard, bro. It would have been like,
This is why you don't. This is why you
I don't think I can sports bet.
yeah, I quit. I quit.
No,
Oh,
like,
no, he
being
leaving.
from Canada. I mean,
Oh, really?
I don't think I have access to these apps.
I feel like,
And the apps we have in Canada, you have to be in the region.
for real?
Yeah.
So like,
I mean, there's definitely a way to do it. I
you
just
can't
don't
do like
know.
prize picks or nothing like that?
I don't think so.
No, I don't. I think Prize Picks isn't even in all the United States.
No, but I feel like if he's in Arizona, so your phone is the thing, like you can't look up like on the App
Maybe
Store.
it's
prize
ID
pick?
based. You know,
I might be
I think
ID
it's
based.
my,
they scan your ID.
The social security number, I don't have one because I'm not a U.S. citizen.
Oh.
And you need that to register with the apps, right?
Oh.
because you're a Canadian citizen
Yeah.
still at the end of the
So
day.
I don't have a social security number. We have in Canada a social insurance number, which is kind of the same thing.
Yeah, talk about that. What's like the
Yeah.
what's the main differences that you see like between Canada and the U.S. Like whether it's weather-wise, food-wise, like people-wise, like
Honestly, I don't know. Like, there's not a crazy difference between the people. I mean, maybe a little bit. Like, well, that's just the whole U.S. Like, there's different types of people.
Yeah.
If you're in Seattle or Florida, right? So it's kind of like everywhere. We're all, I don't know, just Canadians.
What
and
about
Americans.
like food wise? Is there anything different with the food, or do you
Yeah,
guys
it's
pretty much
definitely like
have
the
same
fast
things?
food in restaurants.
what's
You got-
the big thing in Canada?
for fast food?
Yeah.
I don't know. We have terrible fast food. Like, we have the basic stuff like McDonald's and Popeyes and that stuff.
I've
We
tried
really
Taco
don't have
Bell, like,
we
random.
don't have crazy fast food. Like,
Really?
I was gonna say you guys have
Hey,
like
we got
Panda
some
Express,
stuff.
Panda Express, and that's my favorite Chick-fil-A.
For real?
Yeah.
Like,
You
You
see,
guys want
bro,
Chick-fil-A?
we
y'all don't
like,
got Chick-fil-A in
we
Canada?
do. We probably have like 4 or 5.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
yes.
spread out through the whole country? Or
Like,
just like
the
in one?
popular cities like Vancouver, Toronto, Ottawa.
Each one has like one location.
Yeah, it's something like that. We really don't have much. Especially my city's not massive. We don't have much.
For real? And then I know like Canada too, like once you get into like a certain part of Canada, like they only speak French, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
where's
Quebec, like Montreal.
And
That's-
I saw a video where it's like frowned upon if you speak English there. Like,
I think
have you
so,
been
yeah.
over there, or have you heard? any
I've never
stories from
been to
that?
Montreal or Quebec, but
Oh.
I know people from there, and like they're fully French.
Really?
Maybe Swedish. Je m'appelle.
That's interesting.
You know that?
I know
Yeah.
like 2 words of So back on topic. That's the one thing. So poutine is like, because that's one of the one things that I've seen from Canada that I really want to try.
You haven't had it?
I've never tried poutine. Isn't it like fries with like gravy and cheese?
And
Is it?
cheese curds, yeah.
So,
But
where
there's
is that?
bad poutines and good poutines.
Do you think so? Is it poutine like everywhere in Canada, or is it like specific to like one spot in Canada?
No, I mean Montreal holds like the crown, or Quebec City.
Yeah.
That's where like I think it originated from. But everywhere in Canada has it. It just I've never had like the best poutine.
Where's the worst poutine that you've had? Where it's just like you've gone there and be like, nah, I'd rather just
Say like McDonald's or something like.
McDonald's has poutine?
Yeah, poutine and
Really?
at McDonald's. Yeah. So it's stuff like that. Like
Or are there differences? Like I know I see sometimes like international countries like McDonald's has a different menu. Have you
Yeah.
seen anything different other than that on the McDonald's menu here in Canada?
I don't think so. Like I think our menus are pretty similar, but it's actually known that McDonald's in Canada is actually like better quality. Like I don't like American McDonald's, but
You can taste the difference, really?
yeah, the quality is actually a bit better in Canada.
Like from the burgers, even like
Yeah.
the McChickens, everything.
Yeah, I mean it's not,
Like
still
the
not.
big-
I don't know
I
about that one. You ever been on a 3 a.m., 2 a.m. where you get a nice, just hot and spicy, fresh with some fries down here? That's, I don't know if you can beat
Although
that
you gotta
right
go to
there.
Canada. If you go to Canada,
I
at the
think
same
our
time-
menu's like pretty similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I feel like I got a couple different things. But
Yeah,
that's
there's
too
definitely
much.
a little bit, but
And then
you know, we
talk to
still
me-
got the Big Macs and stuff.
And then one of the food spots that I know hella people mess with in Canada is Tim Hortons, right?
Tim Hortons, yeah.
So talk to me about that, because I've never
No,
tried.
I've
I've
only-
never tried Tim Hortons.
know,
There's
Will
maybe a
Tennessee.
couple locations in like Minnesota or Michigan.
Yeah, but is it like a Dunkin' Donuts type of place, or what
It's
is
a
it
coffee-
like?
coffee
Yeah,
shop, right?
so like they're famous for their coffees, and then they have like sandwiches, and they have pretty good breakfast.
Just like Tim Bites or something like
Timbits, yeah.
that? Timbits. What are those?
They're like donut holes. Like it's just a ball of donut with different flavors, obviously.
That's what's up, bro. Hey, I really mess with Canada, man. You know, my favorite artist is Drake.
Drake, yeah.
Yeah.
How big is Drake in Canada realistically? Is he like just
Well, probably the same as the U.S., but in Toronto, where he's from, like,
Yeah.
He
he's
probably
a,
owns the
he's a
city.
god.
He's
Yeah.
a god there.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Have you been to Toronto?
I've been a couple times. Yeah.
What's it like there? Because I feel like
It's really cool. It's like a mini New York.
For real?
Yeah.
If you were to give me like a map of Canada, and like we were on a road trip, and you say you got like these 5 spots to visit in Canada, like where would that be?
Well, Canada's massive, but Vancouver is definitely probably the nicest. That's like in the mountains and on the ocean. So that's above Seattle. And then Toronto, just a great city. Lots of stuff to do there with the CN Tower and stuff.
Mhm.
Then there's Montreal. They are known to have like crazy clubs. It's like a little Vegas almost. Not really, but like in terms of the clubs.
A little
they
mini
have,
bit.
they have amazing club life.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been, but I've heard it's
You've
amazing.
heard it's nice.
Yeah, and then they
Last
eat-
place to round it up. Where should we go after that?
Toronto?
No, he said Toronto.
Oh, he said it.
Yeah.
He said Vancouver, Toronto,
Oh, yeah.
Montreal, and then give me a 4th, just clean up.
Fourth. You guys like the mountains? Like there's Banff. It's like a little town.
Like is it like hiking sort of, or just?
It's like a little
vibing
mountain
out?
town. Like it's iconic. Like if you guys look up videos or whatever,
Mhm.
it's just like one of those beautiful places. on
Good
earth.
views, yeah, good vibe. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Like, you go out to the mountains. Remember, I went to Flagstaff. Have you been to Flagstaff since you got
Yeah.
here? Yeah, Flagstaff, Sedona area.
Man, I'm from the mountains, man.
Yeah.
I'm a mountain man.
But you've never you told
I
me
don't
you've
like the
never
mountains.
really
No, I
been-
don't like
yeah.
the mountains. I'm not gonna lie. Like the nature stuff is cool for a while. I'm more of a city boy though. Like,
Yeah.
I love the city. But hey, man, I appreciate you coming on, man. Letting us
Thanks
learn.
for having me, yeah.
Man, we gotta learn some Canadian history. Gotta learn about it.
Some hockey
Hey,
knowledge too.
Some
Yeah.
hockey knowledge. I'm telling you right now. I'm gonna take your word up. I'm gonna hit that little road trip down Canada. Hit those
You might
places.
need a
real
play
quick.
though,
Hey.
for sure.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I'm,
yeah,
I'm,
you
I'm
gonna have to-
already
you gonna have to get
guessing.
on the
I'm
flight.
ready. Maybe when I get a little
Canada's
bit more
huge,
bread in
bro.
my
Like,
pocket.
the
Yeah.
second biggest country in the world.
Yeah, Canada's huge.
What's first?
Yeah,
Russia.
Russia, yeah.
Oh yeah, Russia's. But you know, anyone you want to shout out, you know,
Yeah, anything
on the
you gotta
pod, you
say?
know, say what's up to. Any last final words for the people out there?
Well, yeah. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube.
We'll have all of that right
Yeah.
here.
If you guys are in Arizona, come to our hockey games. We're the ACHA Division I team. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, we appreciate you again for being on our podcast. This is a long time coming in the making.
Yeah.
Obviously, like we said, we first met you when I guess it was when you first were fresh on campus too.
Oh yeah, that was one of
So,
my first weeks.
Yeah, no, we appreciate you again. This is a great connection to have.
Great
And
person in
absolutely.
general to talk to. You know, and one thing that I appreciate too is you bring a certain level of diversity to the podcast that we haven't had before. Like I have never been able to just sit down with anyone on our podcast before and just talk hockey and talk something that I have like no real knowledge on. So I want to say thank you for brought it in our knowledge. And,
Absolutely, maybe we'll run it back one day.
Oh yeah, for sure. Hey, I promise
I'm here for 4 years, so.
Oh yeah.
We got some time.
We'll get it
We got
in
some
for
time.
sure. We'll get it in for sure. But
That's another great episode of the Teed Up Podcast. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, tune into the Instagram for daily reels, and once again follow Hunter on Instagram, and we'll catch you next week.
peace.